A very good morning, class. So, class, as you all remember, in our previous lecture, we have already started with chapter 4 of our secretarial practice syllabus. And the name of the chapter is Documents Related to Formation of a Company. So, class, as you all are aware, we have started with the introduction part and we are on the very first document of the company, which is a very essential one, as you all know. At the time of incorporation or registration of a company, you require to submit two types of documents to the ROC. Now, who's ROC? Yes, the one, the person, the institute who has got the authorization, the legal authorization to say whether a company has come into existence or not. मतलब ये वो बंदा है जो बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट देता है कंपनी का एंड जिस सर्टिफिकेट के बाद आप ये बोल सकते हैं कि आपकी कंपनी लीगली पैदा हो चुकी है, वैलिड है उसका एग्जिस्टेंस. So memorandum of association and articles of association, these are the two important documents. Apart from that, when a public company asks for money from the public and by issuing shares of its company, by offering the shares of its company to the public, at that time it has to issue prospectus. So in this particular chapter, we are focusing on these three important documents which are related to the formation of a company. Now, out of these three documents, class, we have already started with the very first document, that is Memorandum of Association. So a quick brush up of the topic which we have finished in Memorandum of Association is some definitions of it and general meaning. So for Memorandum of Association, class, I told you to remember PP, that is first P stands for, it's the primary document, the very first document. And second, this particular document shows what is the purpose for which the company is formed. It will show you the range of activities the company can undertake. So as per the definitions given in your textbook, you can conclude that this is a legal document which must be prepared by every company and that is valid as per Companies Act 2013. And ये बताता है what a company can do and what a company cannot do. मतलब do's and don'ts of a company. कौन सा document बताता है? Memorandum of Association. So class, last time we already started with this topic and we'll be continuing and finishing off with this topic today. That is clauses of Memorandum of Associations and what are the provisions to alter it. And in our previous session, we have finished the first three clauses, the name clause, address clause, and the object clause. So class, today we'll be finishing off with the next three clauses. And as I told you, what was the meaning of clause? It is nothing but the important terms and conditions which you have written in the document and which everyone from the top management till the lower management सबको follow करना है. So these rules, these regulations, these terms and conditions, these clauses are valid for everybody. All right, from the top to the lower level of management. So continuing with the fourth clause, which is also called as liability clause. Now before that, class, let me ask you one question. सबको याद है liability का meaning क्या था? Can anybody tell me? तो जब आप ये वीडियो सुन रहे हो, आप ऐसे ही सोचो कि आप एक क्लासरूम में बैठे हो, लेक्चर में बैठे हो और मैं आपको क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ. सो ट्राई टू आंसर इट. या तो बोलो या तो मन में बोलो, बट आंसर इट. तो मैं 2 मिनट दे रही हूँ आप लोगों को, विदाउट सीइंग, ईमानदारी से, लॉयल्टी वाइज खुद को पूछो क्या मुझे मीनिंग आता है लाइबिलिटी का. Because this we have already covered from the first chapter itself, or when we started with second chapter, formation of a company, joint stock company के बारे में जब हमने पढ़ना चालू किया था, when we started with sole trader, that time I explained you all the meaning of liability. So correct, I hope you all know. जिनको नहीं पता या जिन्होंने आंसर बोला, प्लीज दोनों भी सुन के ले लो. Liability was कर्जा, the loan, the borrowing जो आपके कंधों पे है, the debts जो आपको चुकाने हैं, So liability means the loans, the debts, the outstanding stuff which you have to pay back. किसी को देना है वापस, उसको liability बोलते हैं. So liability was of two types as I explained you all. एक जिसमें आपके personal और आपके business assets same होते हैं. मतलब अगर आपको आपका घर, गाड़ी भी बेचने की नौबत आए तो बेचना पड़ेगा. Such liability is unlimited liability. एंड द अदर वन वाज लिमिटेड, जहां पे आपने जितना उठाया है उतना ही देना है, 1 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा आपको उसके ऊपर नहीं देना है. और देयर इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन योर पर्सनल एंड ऑफिस असेट्स. सो रिमेंबर दिस स्लाइड क्लास, दिस टाइप्स ऑफ कंपनी हमने सेकेंड चैप्टर में पढ़ा था. So there were different types of company on the basis of registration, on the basis of control, on the basis of members, on the basis of liability of members. So remember this class, liability wise company 3 हिस्सों में बांटी गई थी. Company limited by shares, company limited by guarantee and unlimited liability company. So liability clause mainly focuses or states the extent of liability of the members of the company. कौन से मेंबर का कितना डेट्स, कितना बोझा, कितना बर्डन है जो वापस करना है उसे कंपनी को. So basically this clause deals with the liability of the members and as you can see it is divided into 3 parts. So let's see all the 3 one by one. So liability clause बोलता है if it's a company limited by shares, तो वो बंदे की liability कहां तक होगी. So this we have already seen in chapter 2. So quick revision of this, I will not explain you all in detail. These type of companies have a share capital and the liability of each member is limited to the unpaid part of the face value of the shares purchased by the member. So अगर मेरे को explain करना है फटाफट से, I can explain it to you all in short. For example, मान लो there were 2 persons A and B. ठीक है, who are the shareholders of the company. A ने 10 रुपए के 5 शेयर्स खरीदे. ओके, एक शेयर 10 रुपए का, तो ऐसे मिस्टर ए ने कितने शेयर्स खरीदे? 5 शेयर्स. So 10 into 5 into 1 because one share was of 10 rupees. तो 5 शेयर्स कितने के हो गए? 50 rupees. B ने 10 रुपए के खरीदे 200 शेयर्स. So 10 rupees के 200 shares खरीदे B ने, तो how much did B purchase total? 2000 rupees capital contribute किया towards the company. Now A ने पूरे 50 रुपए दे दिए थे कंपनी को and B paid only 1500 rupees. तो B को और कितना देना बाकी है? B का टोटल वैल्यू कितना बनता है? 2000. So what is B's liability towards the organization? The remaining 500. आया समझ में? Similarly, A ने 50 rupees contribute किया as a capital and A has paid full 50 rupees. So what is A's liability towards the company? 0. A को कुछ भी नहीं देना है. So are you getting this logic? The unpaid part of the face value of the shares purchased by the member is the liability. How many shares you have bought and उसमें से आपने जो पेमेंट नहीं किया है उतना पेमेंट आपको कंपनी को लौटाना है as per company limited by shares. Not a single extra money you have to pay above it. During the existence of the company or in the event of winding up, a member can be called upon to pay the unpaid remaining amount on the shares purchased by him or her. A company limited by shares may be a public company or a private company, and these are the most popular types of companies. Second is company limited by guarantee. So this also I've already explained to you all. These types of companies may or may not have a share capital. Every member promises to pay a fixed sum of money specified in the memorandum in the event of liquidation of the company. मतलब अगर कंपनी बंद हो रही है, wind off हो रही है, for the payment of the debts and liabilities of the company. तो जितना हर एक ने promise किया है उतना ही कॉन्ट्री करना है. उसके अलावा how will the company pay the debts and liabilities, ये उसका माता पच्ची करने का टाइम नहीं. Generally, such companies are non-profit making organizations because they are formed for the promotion of art, science, culture, charity, sports, etc. So I hope आपको समझ में आ रहा होगा what is exactly liability clause. The third type is unlimited liability. जैसे मैंने आपको मीनिंग समझाया, there is no difference between personal and business assets. तो अगर कंपनी को कर्जा चुकाना है, हो सकता है वो आपको बोले भाई तू अपना घर भी बेच के पैसे लेके आ, गाड़ी भी बेच दे, जो भी है तेरे पास सब बेच के पैसा लेकर आ. That is unlimited liability. A company not having any limit on the liability of the members is termed as unlimited company, and these members are fully liable to cover the debts of the company. Now, this company can be public, private, or even one-person company. Okay? So, are you clear with the fourth clause? सबसे simple clause was liability clause because it was related to your revision, which you had already studied. So, फटाक से let us see what are the alteration of liability clauses का conditions. So, as I told you that day class, alteration means any changes if you have to make in the liability clause. तो वो क्या ध्यान रखना है? The Companies Act 2013 or any rules made thereunder does not contain any provision regarding alteration of liability clause. Legally speaking, the relationship between a member and the company is a contractual relationship. So, if any changes is to be made in the liability of a member, it has to be with the consent of the member and that too in writing. So liability clause says ऐसा कोई specific condition नहीं है जो आपको ध्यान रखना है if you have to make any changes in the liability clause, as it's a contract between the company and the member. So let them sort it out as per their convenience. Member का जैसा consent है, permission है, and once the deal is finalized, please take the permission or consent of the member in writing. ओरली कुछ चेंजेस मत करना, जो भी चेंजेस हुआ है, जो भी डील हुआ है, better tell the member to give in writing so that as a proof it will stay with the company. So with this, the fourth clause, that is the liability clause, gets over here. So I hope you all followed the fourth wala. Moving forward with the next clause, clause number 5, capital clause. Now class, before we start with this topic, I hope you all know what is the meaning of capital. Capital मतलब money invested for business. जो पैसा business के लिए लगाते हो उसको आप capital बोलते हो, correct? So this clause states the amount of capital with which the company is registered. कितना capital आपके company के साथ आप लेके इसको register करवा रहे हो, ठीक है? That is why this capital is also called as registered capital. This is the maximum capital which the company is authorized to raise. Hence, it is also called as authorized capital. Now, class, these are very technical terms. Okay? Now, to explain y'all, I would like to introduce someone who will very nicely explain y'all, and he has been a part of our journey of 12th standard as well. He is the one who has explained very nicely ये authorized capital क्या होता है, share capital क्या होता है, this particular person. So before I introduce, just pay attention to this part. Now as you can see, कोई business company का building लग रहा है आपको, ठीक है ना? The name of this company is BB's Company Limited, ठीक है? And इसके जो head है, जो manager है, is none other than him. पहचाना? Who is he? Yes, you are absolutely correct. He is Mr. Boss Baby, the owner, the manager, the controller of BB's Company Limited. So welcome Mr. Boss Baby again, once again, as this is 11th standard students, and again आपका favorite topic आ गया है, which I want you to explain because you have explained the topic so nicely to the 12th standard students that they are very clear with the topic. So I request you again, छोटा सा introduction इन बच्चों को भी दे देना. Okay. Thank you so much, madam. और पब्लिक बच्चा लोग कैसे तुम लोग? मैं बॉस बेबी, जैसे तुमने मुझे पहचान ही लिया, एंड मैं जैसे मैडम ने बोला कि मैडम मेरे को हर बार बुलाती है और मेरे को बहुत अच्छा भी लगता है जब मैं ऐसा इंट्रोडक्शन देता हूँ, बिकॉज तुम जैसे बच्चे लोग को आजकल इस टॉपिक के बारे में जानकारी होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि तुम्हारे ही हाथों में हमारे देश का फ्यूचर है, ऐसा बोला जाता है। तो आपको जो टॉपिक आप पढ़ रहे हो उसके लिए बहुत क्लियर होना बहुत जरूरी है, जैसा मैडम ने बोला। तो मैं मैडम को भी थैंक यू बोलता हूँ मुझे फिर से एक बार बुलाने के लिए और मेरे पे इतना भरोसा करने के लिए कि मैं अच्छे से आप लोग को एक्सप्लेन कर पाऊंगा। तो बच्चा लोग, जब मैं एक्सप्लेन करूंगा ध्यान देना, बीच बीच में थियोरी पार्ट मैडम तुमको एक्सप्लेन करेगी, एंड जहां पे प्रैक्टिकल आएगा मैं छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए आऊंगा, जहां पे मैं तुम्हें समझा सकता हूँ कि मैंने जब मेरा बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया था तब कैसे स्टार्ट किया था। तुमको ज्यादा ब्रीफ में है नहीं, तुमको खाली मेरे को ऊपर ऊपर से फिलहाल के लिए आउटलाइन देना है। तो उसके लिए बच्चा लोग तैयार रहना, बहुत चिंदी सा टॉपिक है, इजी सा टॉपिक है, एक बार तुम समझ गए तो फिर आगे कभी लाइफ में लोचा नहीं आएगा तुम्हारे। ठीक है बच्चा लोग, ओवर टू यू मैडम। ऑल राइट, थैंक यू सो मच बॉस बेबी। So children, we are moving forward. So pay attention, the theory part I'll be explaining it to you all. And when the practical stuff comes in, he'll enter. So basically हम यहाँ पे क्या सीख रहे हैं बच्चे लोग? We'll be learning a capital, what is called as the authorized capital, और उसको registered capital क्यों बोलते हैं, and what is exactly the meaning of authorized capital. So as Mr. Boss Baby told you all, this is his company, BB's Company Limited. And this particular company has got a share capital of rupees 10 lakhs. So when Mr. BB started his business, and after making all the planning as with his, promoters, with his other shareholders, he came on a conclusion that his company will require a share capital of 10 lakh rupees. And this share capital will be divided into two parts. One is the equity shares and one is the preference shares. And always equity shares will be greater than preference share. That means equity capital will be more. Now, what is the difference between equity and preference? The main difference between equity and preference is that class, equity shares are those shares which are brought by the owners, owned capital hai, khud ka capital, OWNED. This capital is basically comprised of one's own capital. So the person contributes it towards the company. And preference shares matlab those people who are buying the preference shares of the company will be always preferred first. जब रिटर्न्स की बारी आएगी, जब आप शेयर खरीदते हो, आप पैसा दान नहीं दे रहे ना कंपनी को, यू आर गिविंग द मनी फ्रॉम सम मोटिव, और वो मोटिव क्या है? आपको कुछ रिटर्न मिलेगा, बदले में कुछ मिलेगा। तो जब आप शेयर्स में इन्वेस्ट करते हो, यू गेट डिविडेंड ऑन इट। जैसे आपने बैंक में पैसा रखा, सेविंग अकाउंट में आपका पैसा बढ़ जाता है, इंटरेस्ट मिलता है ना, हम बोलते हैं। In the similar manner, when you invest in the shares of the company, you get dividend back. So similarly, equity shares वालों का क्या है? खुद का पैसा है, but preference कभी नहीं मिलता, they are always preferred at the last. So जब returns की बारी आती है, always preference shares are given the very first preference. नाम में ही meaning है ना class? Okay, so अभी के लिए just you have to understand BB's company का जो capital है वो कितने का है? 10 लाख का उनका कैपिटल है. Okay. Now over here, as you can see, the face value is 10 rupees per share. मतलब Mr. Boss Baby, when he started the business and when he was offering the shares, one share he offered at 10 rupees. Okay. So if there are 10 lakh का share capital and एक share 10 रुपए का है, तो how many shares Mr. Boss Baby is issuing class? So total equity shares which Mr. Boss Baby offered was 1 lakh. और ये 1 lakh पे हम कैसे पहुंचे? 10 lakh divided by 10. So 10 lakh को if you divide by 10, तो मतलब कितने shares issue हुए? 1 lakh shares. So followed 1 lakh into 10, answer is 10 lakh. So this is how Mr. Boss Baby introduced the capital. तो बच्चा लोग समझा, मैडम ने बहुत अच्छे से समझाया। जैसे मैं जब कंपनी शुरू कर रहा था तब डिस्कशन होने के बाद हमें लगा कि हमारे कंपनी को 10 लाख का कैपिटल चाहिए, 10 लाख का पैसा। अब ये 10 लाख हम कैसे जमा करने वाले हैं? जैसे मैम ने बोला, मैंने एक शेयर 10 रुपए में बेचा, ऑफर किया मतलब। तो इसका मतलब अगर मैं इक्विटी शेयर्स, इक्विटी मतलब मेरा खुद का कैपिटल है, मैं खुद के पैसे डाल रहा हूं, किसी और से नहीं ले रहा हूं। तो मेरे जैसे ऐसे मेरे और 2-3 पार्टनर्स थे, मेरे और 2-3 शेयर होल्डर्स थे जिन्होंने मिलके मेरी कंपनी स्टार्ट करी है। तो ऐसे ही हम लोग कितने इक्विटी शेयर्स देने को तैयार थे? 1 लाख। तो एक शेयर अगर मैं खरीद रहा हूं तो मुझे 10 रुपए डालने पड़ेंगे। अगर मैं ऐसे 20 शेयर खरीद रहा हूं तो मुझे 200 रुपए डालने पड़ेंगे, है ना, 100 रुपए, सॉरी 10 रुपए नहीं। तो आप लोगों को समझा 1 लाख कैसे आया? 10 लाख डिवाइडेड बाई 10, 1 लाख रुपए। तो मैंने कितने इक्विटी शेयर्स इश्यू किए बच्चा लोग? 1 लाख। तो तुमको समझा ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल या रजिस्टर्ड या नॉमिनल कैपिटल क्या हो गया? मेरे को बताओ, क्या वो 1 लाख है, 10 रुपए है कि 10 लाख है? बताओ जल्दी। शाबाश। तो जितना टोटल मनी अपने को बिजनेस में लगाने के लिए लगता है उस पैसे को अपन क्या बोलते हैं? ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल या रजिस्टर्ड कैपिटल या नॉमिनल कैपिटल। समझा बच्चे लोग? अब इसको ऐसा क्यों बोला जाता है वो आपको मैडम समझाएगी। ठीक है मैडम, ओवर टू यू। थैंक यू मिस्टर बॉस बेबी। So moving forward class, as he told, this is the money which is required to start the business, correct? So now let us see इसको ऐसा नाम क्यों दिया है? Why it is called as authorized capital or registered capital or nominal capital? Authorized capital means it is the maximum capital. Authorized means permitted, permission दिया है by MA. MA means memorandum of association that a company can raise by issue of shares. मतलब आप shares बेच के you can collect that money. And why it is called as registered capital? As you know class, the capital clause of articles of association and paid stamp duty on the time of incorporation. Now what is the stamp duty class? As we saw, when you are incorporating the company, तो ये legal procedure है, correct? And everything will be done legally. So for that you require a lawyer, you have to go to the court which is concerned. So you have to give money for every government work which is getting done. तो जो पैसा आप देते हो while incorporating or registering your company, that paisa is called as the stamp duty which you have to pay. Now it differs from the procedure to procedure for all the companies. It's not fixed. A standard amount is not fixed. It depends upon the type of the company it is. It's called as nominal capital because it never issues all the authorized capital at once. धीरे धीरे करके when the company is settling, it will collect 10 lakh. एक साथ 10 लाख रुपए नहीं मिलने वाला है. But when registering, you are showing कि the maximum capital that we are raising is 10 lakh rupees for the particular company which we have started. Over to you, Mr. Boss Baby. ठीक है मैडम, अभी आपने बहुत अच्छे से समझाया कि इसको ऑथोराइज्ड क्यों बोलते हैं, रजिस्टर्ड क्यों बोलते हैं और नॉमिनल क्यों बोलते हैं. तो बच्चा लोग क्विकली समझ के ले लो, सेम एक्सप्लेनेशन है, एक बार फिर से मैं समझा देता हूँ क्या क्या टर्म्स इस्तेमाल होते हैं. ठीक है, तो जैसे मेरी कंपनी का नाम है बीबीज कंपनी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड नहीं है, इट इज बीबीज कंपनी लिमिटेड. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा मिस्टेक हो गया है, इट्स नॉर्मल लिमिटेड, पब्लिक कंपनी अपनी. AC मीन्स ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल कितना अपना 10 लाख. तो जब मैं रजिस्टर करवाने गया था कंपनी को तो मैंने लिखवाया था मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन में हमारे कंपनी को 10 लाख रुपए कलेक्ट करने, ये हमारा ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल है. एक शेयर फेस वैल्यू मतलब एक शेयर हम कितने में बेचने वाले? 10 रुपए में. तो मेरे पास टोटल इक्विटी शेयर्स कितने में इश्यू करने वाला हूं? 1 लाख. जैसे मैंने बताया 10 लाख डिवाइडेड बाय 10, 1 लाख इक्विटी शेयर्स में इश्यू करने वाला हूं. तो मेरे पास कितना कैपिटल आ जाएगा? 10 लाख. ऐसा मैंने सोच के रखा है, जो मैं धीरे धीरे कंपनी स्टार्ट करने के बाद कलेक्ट करता रहूंगा. समझा बच्चे लोग? तो थैंक यू मैडम, आपने जिस काम के लिए मुझे बुलाया था, आई होप मैंने अच्छे से किया. बच्चे लोग तुमको समझा भी ऑथोराइज्ड कैपिटल का मतलब क्या होता है. इन फ्यूचर अपन ये टॉपिक जब डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे तब मैं तुमसे मिलूंगा. टिल देन बच्चे लोग पढ़ते रहो, मस्ती भी करो, बट एट द सेम टाइम पढ़ाई भी करनी है. ठीक है, ओवर टू यू मैडम. So thank you, Mr. Boss Baby, once again for removing time and coming and explaining these children the meaning. And sorry for the mistake of typing private over there in your company. So all right, class, I hope you all followed now why and what is the authorized capital ka meaning, why it is called as registered or nominal capital, and what is face value and all that stuff. So with that explanation, quickly we'll go through the theory part given in your textbook. So the first part, as I told you, is this clause states the amount of capital with which the company is registered. So that was 10 lakh in our case. This capital is called as registered capital because you have to do that at the time of incorporation, registration. This is the maximum capital which the company is authorized to raise. Matlab permission is given by ROC. So that is why it is called as authorized capital. In case of a company with share capital, जैसे अपना था example, this clause states the total amount of share capital in terms of total number of shares. So as you saw class, how many total number of equity shares were issued by Mr. Boss Baby? It was 1 lakh. And fixed value per share. And one share कितने में बेच रहे थे वो? 10 rupees. That is called as the face value of the share. If a company wants to issue more shares to raise more funds than the amount of authorized capital, then the company has to alter the capital clause. So मान लो during the business, Mr. Boss Baby को लगा, oh no, 10 lakh is not enough. Instead of 10, we require 12 lakh. So now he is trying to change the authorized capital का requirement. So agar the amount is more than that of authorized capital, then the company will be required to alter the capital clause. So this is the next topic, alteration. So what are the conditions if Mr. Boss Baby's company wants to make alteration in the capital clause? That is the changes. What things they will have to keep in mind? So the articles of association of a company authorizes the alteration in the capital clause. Now, capital clause is altered for reasons like increasing the authorized capital by issuing new shares because more money is required, converting fully paid up shares into stock, etc. The capital clause is altered by passing an ordinary resolution in the general meeting of the company. Now, remember class, हमने resolution पढ़ा था special resolution, that was 3/4 or 75% of the votes चाहिए अगर आपको कुछ pass करवाना है, approve करवाना है. So in the same way, if you want to alter the capital clause, so for that shareholders का meeting conduct करके you require to pass ordinary resolution. What is the meaning of ordinary resolution? That is, you must get votes cast in favor are more than the votes which are cast against a proposal. So for example, if I'm asking the shareholders to vote in favor or in against, and we are 10 shareholders, so I will tell if 6 people are voting yes के लिए and 4 are voting against के लिए, तो 6 में approve हो जाएगा. That means the in favor वाले votes should be more than the against वाले vote. Then you can say the ordinary resolution can be approved. अगर 4 ने हाँ बोला, 6 ने ना बोला, तो not approved. Approval नहीं होगा. So that is what is in favor वाले should be more in comparison to against वाले. Ratio, percentages not important. So that is why it is called as ordinary resolution. So are you all clear with the fifth one, capital clause? And uska alteration is given in articles of association, which is the next document which we'll be covering in some time. Okay. Moving forward to the next one, subscription or association clause. This is the last clause of memorandum of association and it is placed at the end. Of course, end wala hai to end mein hi rahega. In this clause, the subscribers to the memorandum make a declaration stating that they are desirous of forming a company as per the memorandum of association and agree to take a certain number of shares in the capital of the company. So this is very simple. Hai. Those who are willing to buy the shares of the company, they make a subscription, they make a writing statement, a declaration that we are ready to become the members of the company और हम इतने shares खरीदने के लिए agree करते हैं. So that is what is written in the subscription or association clause. Association, why? Because members who are associated with the company. So that is why it is called as association, and subscription matlab becoming the members of the company. Subscribe karna bolte hai. Now, as you all know, on the basis of members of company, there are three types: private company, public company, and one-person company. So, in case of private company, the memorandum of association should be signed by at least 2 subscribers. In case of public company, the memorandum of association must be signed at least by 7 members. So, this we have already seen. Public company, minimum 7 members. Private, 2 members, and one-person company. So if it's a one-person company, the memorandum of association should be signed by at least 1 subscriber or member. So these are the important requirements which you have to keep in mind. So continuing with the topic, subscription and association clause. Each subscriber has to put his name, address, and occupation in the presence of at least 1 witness who shall also put all the details in the memorandum of association. So with this class, finally we come to an end of clauses of memorandum. And the first document, MOA, is complete over here. Now in our next lecture, we'll be starting with the second most important document of the company called as AOA, that is Articles of Association. So class, I stop here for today. Thank you so much for your patient and interactive session. I hope you all must have interacted with me when I was teaching you all. If not, please try to pay attention the next time. And even if you can hear me, please interact as if we are conducting a normal regular session so that you don't get bored and at the same time you understand the concept too. So class, take care, stay safe, keep studying, keep practicing. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. Stay tuned and keep watching my channel and do subscribe it in order to get more updates regarding your subjects. So thank you so much class. I stop here for today.